GM. Day number 37, becoming a profitable trader. This is just going to be a quick morning video, considering it's 7:11:09 seconds in the real time zone. So let's just jump straight into it. This is just going to be me discussing some pairs I'm looking at and etc. For the day at least, because by the time you see this, it should be still valid setups. And if not, you can always get in late. Right, Euro AUD. This is the one I currently look at here. Just waiting for the break of the lower high on this. Nothing too much. You saw this yesterday. SPY calls. This one, or it's not SPY calls, it's just SPX 500. SPY calls is for the options traders out there. Just waiting for a break of the lower high. If this breaks and closes in the next 18 minutes, we got this dang-a-lang, and so we can take the trade off here. If we look on the 4 hour, we're quite tall up, so what I presume is going to happen is once it breaks the lower high, it's just going to keep going down to the lower, breaking the lower low, all the way till it reaches this new point, because this is the new high, and then move upwards. That's what I foresee, at least. Or maybe it doesn't do that at all, and I'm completely wrong. Doesn't matter, we're still going to get our entry. So if it ends up being here, let's say closes exactly here, or well, that's not true. If I have a break of the lower high, it's probably going to be up here somewhere. Oh, we still got this to target, right? And with a bit of an adjustment, suddenly now we got about 2%. So that's pretty much it for SPX. Just waiting for break at that thing here. That's it. AUS 200, we had a break of the higher high, so now we moved this. Now we're simply waiting for the exact same thing, higher low, but this is to go short, so I'll show you what it looks like on the 4 hour. Over here, I believe, yeah, this is to go short, so what I could foresee this happening is just this breaking right there and targeting this level here. I think this is a bit too generous. I would target ideally this, or this, depending on how position looks. You can keep not scaling in, but you can just monitor it, which is just basically, is the trend reversing against me? If so, let's put a actual limit of where we're going to lose it. Next, AUS or US 30. Unfortunately, I would have been in this trade. However, the limit order, you can see that this is where the entry was supposed to be, but I was talking too goddamn long, so it went all the way past it, pretty much went all the way here, but I didn't get in. I set the limit order right here, so we missed it at about, I'm gonna say that's 2 pips in Forex terms. Could have been because I was too greedy here. Could have been well over like a, if I had put it to 2%, which I'll start doing from now on. 2.5% is good, but I am adjusting a lot of stuff. But anyways, 2% there, I would have been in this trade for a profit of just about 0.73%. But it is what it is. I'll have loads of other trades ready for me within the day or tomorrow. It's not really anything I really think about. But yeah, that's just the lesson. Get in early. So that's pretty much that. This is a trade I'm actually looking at currently that I've even placed a limit order at. This pair has a lot of wicks. This was discussed at length previously, but just the sheer amount of wicks that come from this pair. My measuring tool is not working. Yeah, 12 pips on this. This has been wicking down all this week. This has been wicking since Tuesday. Let's see, since yesterday. But anyways, what I'm waiting for is just a wick to come into here, and then I'm in the trade for a 2%. Targeting, what am I targeting? Daily area, which looks pretty much like, pretty much around these areas, because I trust in the wick. It's a bit risky. It's much more risky than any normal trade, but I trust in the wick. So that's what I'm doing here. 2% on that. That's the trade I'm currently straight on the limit order in. This one, waiting for the break of the lower high here. Still on the lower low. 4 hour is indeed still bullish, so this is to go long. We're right about the lower high. So this is actually a perfect demonstration of strategy, because this reached a higher high point, but now we need a higher low point for this to continue upwards. So if we do as it's supposed to do here, we'll get a break of the lower high, which will pretty much look something like this, like that. Take the trade off that, and let's say it's even got that, and got a wick right around like that. Say there, plus a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, and moving this to a more reasonable place, like so. Targeting a daily area here. This would be daily. You can go off the wicks, but I want this to be a little bit more probability setup. Try to aim for something like that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to take 2%. Anyways, just going to look like this, pretty much. If this breaks above, which of course it will. So that's what I'm looking at for AUD USD. It's for a buy, and yeah. This one, I don't foresee this being ready by the end of the day, just because the gaps between the two are so large, but might happen, might not. We might get a candle that just goes completely like that. So we have no idea. But that's pretty much what I'm waiting for, just a break of the higher low and then lower high. This one is actually something I called out pretty goddamn well, I must say. Yesterday is where I drew this line. I thought, okay, well, I can't take a position right here. I thought of doing it, but I was like, it makes no sense. Where am I taking the position from? I'm going to need a place to just get off the area of interest, so I can do exactly what it did here, up into the area of interest and go down. And what do we have? Well, this shit is following. What do we have? Well, we went straight up to the T of broke the high here, but went straight up to the area of interest here. Right now, we drop down to the 30 minute, and all we're simply waiting for is a candle to do that. That's it. I take the entry off this. On that, let's say stop is over here. It's going to be done on the 4 hour anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But let's say it breaks right around here. Candlestick is over here. On a daily, no, this is a weekly actually. Wow, that's pretty good. Is it really? Yeah. Okay. Well, a weekly is far superior in that sense. So let's extend this out a little bit. I think so. So let's say we take the trade off that. Shit, we could be targeting that right there. Or if you want to go really long term, you could even target this. I wouldn't foresee that happening. It's a bit unlikely. But yeah, I could see that. I could see this definitely. So that's what we're going to be aiming for at least. And maybe I'm completely wrong and it just does that. Well, great. Then we still have, a confluence. This is actually no longer bullish. I just noticed that. Bearish. So we got a 20% to go short actually. Short. Cool. So yeah, that's on NZD CHF. I think the rest of the pairs are pretty much the same here. Let's see. Okay, pretty much the same as NZD. What is this? CHF? Yeah. CHF, all I would wait for is this to reach up to here, then drop down, and if it doesn't, if it keeps going above here, then I may be looking for a little long one. a little long, but I don't foresee it. I could see it just going into the area of interest and reversing on me, because if you look on this was old one, the overall trend has been bearish for I don't even fucking know how long. Since, let's say, 2007? 2007, all of this. When am I going to start going towards it? Yeah, we had some ups, we had some downs, but I don't know. For me, the overarching trend is just bearish. Boom, boom. Well, yeah, I'm just going to bearish. Bearish. Done. Like so. Cool. Daily, we have pretty much the exact same thing here. Which if you look on the 4 hour, it did break here. So now we're waiting for a break at the lower high here. Like so, but we'd need this. The 4 hour will have to go bullish for us to take this trade first, because it just needs to go in here. There's absolutely no reason why I should take the trade out here. Sure, yeah, we might have a target here, and it might have reached the daily here. The only way I would be able to take this from this area would be from that, just because this is my entry right here. I guarantee you, if I went into the lower time frames, I could see an entry off here, because it's just the way it looks. But I would have to take it up here. And without a question, I would have to take it out there. Like this. So, because there's just out here, you're in pretty much nowhere in this land. You're taking off a lower low. Why are you taking it? And risk reward isn't really that fucking great. 2%er for such a high risk position? Hell no. I'm just waiting for my shit to go up here. Right. Let's see. This closed even lower. See, platinum has been fucking me all day long. See, 4 hour break low. Yeah, it's nothing really to say here, except for the fact that we are currently on the weekly. We are bullish, daily bearish, 4 hour bearish. So this is actually 20%er. This is 10%er to go long. However, with a new break, perhaps we could foresee a new area of interest where we could take the long off. Or nothing fucking happens and instead this shit happens, which is also okay. I've got my alert set on it anyway, so this doesn't really matter. BTC USD, this one, yeah, I remember this. This was yesterday. Didn't manage to take off. I simply was not available at this time, but it is what it is. Missed this one. I'm certain other stuff's going to happen as well. This one, look at the fucking how wrong I was. When I took this trade, I was like, okay, I have to get stopped out where I'm wrong. Where I got stopped out is like literally the point of where the trend completely reversed against me. So that's always good. I hate being stopped out for no reason, but this one was actually a well done reason. This one reached in, yeah, pretty much just waiting for this to reach the daily area of interest, and not with a wick. Wick is fine, but I don't know. I'm gonna need. I just don't like the way it looks. I need a body to close into the daily area of interest. But yeah, I'm not gonna bore you with my 500 pairs, as you can see. What I'm gonna do is simply just put this here, and that's pretty much it. I just want to say one thing, which is I used to have like 19 pairs on this. Now I have I don't even know, 43. No, 36. I have 36 pairs. And my main takeaway from it was pretty much just widen your horizons. I have all these different entries. If you saw my logs of how I log everything, you'd be like, what the fuck? But I categorize them by readiness and all this stuff. When I had 19 pairs, I had like maybe 4 entries, maybe 5. And most of them were false breakouts. I was just looking at the charts all day with no action. Now, when I wake up, I got like 19 notifications. This broke the higher high, this broke the lower high, all these different things. And so it's a lot more action and you get a lot more chart time in that sense, which I'm much happier about. Before, I used to think like, oh, I need to do this because, I don't know, I'd go practice case studies or backtesting or something because I just didn't have anything to do. I was just, alerts just set and there's nothing happening. I wanted to get in that chart time, but I just didn't have anywhere to do it. So I was going to say, just widen your horizons. It's quite fucking helpful because you at least, you're somewhat, oh my god, I was wondering what this is. You're somewhat just even entertained. You're just on the charts, which is what makes you money, right? You want to do stuff that makes you money. Second thing I want to say is I am going to start marking up on Sunday Swings crypto because I ran through strategy. Obviously, this is no be all and end all for 3 positions, but I just decided let me just backtest 3 positions and see if this is anything good. In total, over obviously again 3 trades, not a valid indicator, but I got 2%, 2.5%, 2.75%. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to take these, I think this is, 9 pairs? No, 11 pairs. 11 pairs, I've got Solana, US, Pepe. I don't know why I even have it. I just like it. I like the name Pepe. I've got Shiba USD. I've got Polkadot, Bitcoin Cash, Avalanche, XRP, Polygon, Litecoin, Uniswap, and finally Cardano. Now, what am I doing with these? Sunday markup, just basically. Am I going to actively trade them? It depends on how profitable I am with them. Because what I've noticed is the fact that that these have a lot more RR potential. So percentage-wise, you're making a lot more, and they're much more explosive. So it might be something I'm trading on. I've seen some crypto trading platforms that offer funding. So maybe that's a route that I'm going to take. I have no idea. Strategy still remains the same. Or maybe it's just going to be using it for practice. I'm yet to see. But that's pretty much it. I want to thank you if you've listened to my rant so far. And go out, take some trades. Make sure you get the chart time, man. Chart time is most important. I've heard, I can tell you over the course of, I don't even know how many podcasts I've listened to. Probably 20 to 30. Yeah, 20, 30. They're all an hour long, so I've dedicated a lot. I used to watch them every single time I went to and from school and uni and eating and doing anything when I had free time. I used to just spam watch podcasts. And number one thing that people, there's pretty much 2 things. There's 2. There's number one, risk management. Risk management is numero uno in everything. Without risk management, you are never going to become a funded trader. You're never going to be able to maintain it, even if you lucky shot it and get, 10%. What's stopping you from putting on? Sorry. What's stopping you from putting on a 5% or 5% of your account again because you've been lucky, all this stuff, right? You're going to blow the account, no question about it. If you don't have risk management, you're not going to be able to get funded, you're not going to be able to do anything, basically. You might get a lucky strike, but you're pretty much a gambler then. Risk management, in the simplest form, is A, put you away from my mic away from my keyboard so you don't need to hear my constant typing. A, nearly lost my thought there. Okay. You need to be okay with losing. Risk management is pretty much, most people think, if you're new trader, or if you're an old trader, then you definitely know this. You're gonna lose, without question, 100%. There is, I couldn't see it. You're going to lose. At some point over a long period of time, which is if you're planning on doing this full time, you're going to lose. There's nothing you can do. You're not God in the markets. You're not like gamblers. Let's say the fucking biggest casino players, or Dana White, the one who bets loads of money, blackjack, all these different things, or poker even. All these people lose. There's never been one person who just all he does is win. He's lost many, 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 many times. And the thing with risk management is you need to be okay with losing, and you have no idea when that's going to be next. A lot of people are like, nah, I can kind of predict it. No, you're not. I have some friends who, I don't tell them I'm a forex trader, but when we talk about crypto, they're very into crypto, and they're like, no, people know exactly where it is. And I have to bite my tongue and be like, you don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows in this world where the price is going to go next in the next 15 minutes. Nobody knows. You can have an idea. That's the reason for a stop loss, right? But you have no idea. It's just an estimation to a certain point. You have, I'm not going to repeat myself, but you just need to be okay with losing. Accept it. Just be like, okay, when you lose, it's part of the process. It's going to get you closer to a win, right? You need to be okay with losing, and B, you make it shifts. Fuck's sake. You need to be okay with losing times. You need to be okay with losing several times. Now, there was a experiment done, or it was part of a trader program that I was part of, and it was genuinely such a good exercise, without a question. Like it shifted my entire mindset about you need to be okay with losing several times, right? And it was this idea of expected value, which was, let's say you have a coin flock. If you want to do this actually changed everything for me. If you have a coin, right, it's going to be 50-50%. Let's say you have a strategy, it's 50-50%. Does that mean you're going to win? Let's say that you win 5 times and lose 5 times. Absolutely not. In any regard whatsoever, that's not what's happening. So I want you to do this. Just take out a coin, give me any coin, name heads, tails, and just flip the coin, let's say 10 times. Okay. And just bet on one. Be it tails, heads, you understand how the whole coin flip thing goes. And mark down how many times you win. In those 10 times, you might win 3 times. You might win 6 times. And you'll see, it's not 50-50. Very rarely is it 50-50. It's more like 60-40 or 30-70 or even 10-90. That's what I had in my first flips. And I was like, wow. Then you go on the next toss and do it 100 times. It doesn't take long. A lot of people said, oh, no, it's too long. It literally takes you 5 minutes. Just keep flipping it. And just put a 1 or a 0. And log it into an Excel sheet. I guarantee you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, my expected value is 50%. But I lost 7 times in a row. That's the whole thing. I know my stuff. And my win rate on this is 60%. That means I'll take 4 losses in a row. Which is, you're like, oh my God, 4 losses in a row. That would wreck most people because they're risking 2, 3, 4, 5% of the account. But let's say on a fund account, you need to lose 10% to be able to lose the account. Well, I know that's likely not going to happen. I have 60%. My expected value is, out of every 10 trades, I'm going to win 6 of them. Even if the win rate isn't even that important, it's more about RR as well. Expected value means you can't have 50%, you get 1, 50%, you lose 1. You have to have a positive expected value in the sense that I apologize if this is extremely unstructured, but I just went off the rip on this. But you need to basically have, let's say you win and it's 2.5%, you lose 1. you're going to win far faster like that. Win rate is there's a specific term that I can't remember right now, but it's just, it's a metric that doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't. If you have 40%, but you have a 2.5% per position, you're still winning, without a question. So yeah, you need to be okay with losing several times. That's a massive one, because you can lose 7 times in a row. And if you're risking 2%, you've got 14% drawdown. Now, if you're on the personal account, if you're on a personal account, you're crying. And if you're on a fund account, well, you've lost it. But if you have 1% or 0.5%, well, then you can lose 0.5%. How many times can you lose? 20 times or something? If I risk 1%, I'm losing 10 times. That's extremely unlikely to happen, but I'm okay if it happens, right? It's not money I need. It's not money I need to flip right now. So yeah, that's on that one. And the second thing is, apologize, this is taking way too long. Number 2, chart time. Boom. So congratulations. Let's say that you're completely okay with risk management. You're okay with losing 7, 8, 9 times in a row, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make it back. I'm gonna make it back because if it has 2.5%, 2-3 times, I'm already good. I only need to win 2-3 times, and I'm in the positive, right? So you got your risk management down. Next, over the course of every single podcast, every single person says the same. Whether they have $36,000 in payouts this week, or they have $500 in payout this week. Every advice that you ask them, they all talk about chart time. Now, what is chart time? Chart time is pretty much... I'm going to formulate this. You should make case studies of your strategy working out, because what chart time does is it takes away the uncertainty that your trade works. Let's say that you have you have a fucking bottle flip thing. You remember that thing in, I don't remember what it was, 2015, 2019, whatever that was, that bottle flip thing. Everybody went crazy. Basically, let's say that you have 2. You have one bottle that you've flipped 100 times, and you have one bottle that you've never flipped it once. Or let's say you even flipped it 5 times. Well, in these 2, which one is not more likely to win? Which one is not more likely to have a higher RR? It's nothing about that. It's more about your confidence level in the fact that you will take the trade because you saw the setup. You know it's valid. There's no discretion when it comes to confidence. When you've done it for so many times, you know when you see a setup, and you're not like trying to trick yourself, or you're not afraid of taking that trade. Because let's say that you've case studied 20 different trades. Well, you have a 20 trades behind you that you know worked out or didn't work out. And you're like, okay, I took 20 trades. 10 worked out. 10 did not. That was 20. 10 worked out. 10 did not. Well, if you look at it and... If you look at it, let's say you have 2.5% per trade. Well, you got 25 RR minus 10 RR, which leaves you with a total of 15 RR afterwards, right? That's how much you get. Quick maths. When you've taken 20 trades and 5 of them were losses at first, but then you made it all back, what's the likelihood of you not being able to do that again? Or just being confident enough to do it? I think that's the whole thing with the chart time. Is just you need to build up your confidence. So when you walk onto the charts, you're like, okay, yeah, I see a setup. And you're not afraid of losing because you're okay with losing. You're okay with losing several times in a row, and you see the setup. What's preventing you from taking the trade? If you just have loads and loads and loads of experience with the trade working out, and it doesn't, you're like, okay, well, that's fine. Next one will come. There's absolutely no problem. I've tested it. I know this works. I have a positive expected value. And you just do this. This is it, right? This is it to the most basic terms of trading, is you need to be okay with losing and you need to have the confidence to take a trade. The only thing left now is time. That's why I think scalpers are like taking 50 trades a night, because they just want time to catch up. They want to get that payment, and sometimes they do, but a lot of people blow their account that way because they want it now. Just understand that you have to be in front of the charts for several hundreds of hours for you to do this. The trade, the 2.5% one, wherever that one, I forgot what pair it was. I'll find it on this. Shit. Boom. I forgot what it was. I'll go very, very quickly over it. Give me a moment. This one. Was it this one? No. Which fucking prayer was it? Shit. This one. Here. Euro CHF, right? This could have been a way bigger trade. This could have been, 5R. But anyways, it doesn't matter. At this point here, I was completely okay with losing. Didn't lose, by the way. And she was a bit wrong. I was completely losing on this point, but I saw the trade set up. This was the first time I had taken a sell in my life. Like in my life, to get a 2.5%. First time. I thought I was a great buyer, but I just saw the sell set up. I was reluctant to look for it, but I was just like, I see it. And I just feel like I have to take this trade because, well, I'm looking at it and the setup is playing in front of me. I know this works. Let's take it. But you know how long it took this shit to play out? I want to say it's at least on the very, very low side, because this is what, day 37? It's been about, 37 days since I started this challenge. This has been like 50, 60, 70, I want to even say 100 hours for me to get this position. Now, maybe I'm just a slow learner, right? It could just be that you're a slower learner. But this shit took me hundreds of hours in total of previous experience too. This very trade, right? You can get lucky, obviously, but it's just, in my opinion, if over the course of 2 years, if you combine all the chart time, this has taken me hundreds of hours to reach a stage where I can make 2.5% in a day. And like, I'm okay with losing it before all these different things were, what would I say? They were holding me back. And now I can look at a trade and be like, okay, the setup is there, or it's not there. Or if, for example, this looks perfect, it's just everything is right, but the confidence isn't there, I'm like, fuck it. No, I'm not putting it. Why? Because I know that the trade needs to have a certain criteria for it to get hit, or it's going to lose, or it has a high probability of losing. Your psyche is going to try to mess with you and all this stuff. So yeah, just get your fucking chart in, time in, and that's all I could say. It's just, it sucks. It's hard. The first time you're doing it, it's probably a little bit more fun. But once you're on like hour 36 and you've gotten a single setup yet, or you're spending your time on this just waiting for a fucking setup and you're just spending your time playing in it, trust me, it's worth it. It's going to play out. It's actually going to be much better than you think. But yeah, I'm not going to rant over like an hour about this. Just that's the basic premise for me, pretty much. Is just where the fuck this shit is. I believe I've lost my drawings. That's a bit annoying. There we go. Forgot I was on polka dots. But yeah, just these two things. If you do these two things, you'll become profitable. I know I'm going to become profitable. There's no question about it, because I'm putting so much fucking effort into it. It's all I think about. It's all when I pick up my phone, I'm not looking at any text or anything. I'm literally just open my phone. Okay, broke lower high, broke lower low, boom, 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 boom. And just making sure I'm on it all the time. I come home. It's the first thing I check before I go to sleep. It's the first thing I check. It becomes my life, and I know I'm going to be profitable. The only thing that needs to catch up is funding. Well, no. First of all, it needs to be time. I'll catch up, but I need to just pass a proffer challenge, and just keep trading. keep doing what I'm doing because I know I have the discipline, I know I have the time. And you can have it too. That's the whole thing. It's just, you gotta put this shit in. You gotta put the effort in, man. A lot of people just come in and they're just like, oh yeah, I just want to make 2.5% a week. And I'm like, okay, I can't, you could technically do that, but there's so much other stuff that comes with it. If you want to do it long term, can you bet just YOLO that shit on a parlay and just be like, okay, yeah, let's put the position here and I'm just aiming for that. And it hits, sure. Can you do it consistently? Fuck no. Because I tried to do that shit for 2 goddamn years. I tried to YOLO. I tried to buy every indicator. I tried to do basically everything except for doing the work. I got lucky sometimes. I even had a 3% during the day, right? But I was completely lucky and just YOLO'd that shit on a crypto shitcoin. It happens. But if you want this to be your job, which I want this to be my job, you got to put some fucking hours in, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's only day 37, of course, but I want this to be my full-time job. It fucking pretty much is, actually. It's like that fucking quote. It's like, I already have a full-time job yet. I'm just not getting paid, which is obviously like oxymoron, obviously. But with this shit, I'm spending so many hours, so much time, so much everything, and I just refuse for this to not work out. I'm just not letting this not work out. If I'm not profitable, fuck it, I'm doing something wrong, right? But anyways, again, don't want this to go over an hour. Today is a rainy, however, still good Wednesday. It's currently 7:47 in the real time zone now, and yeah, just get your fucking chart time in. That's all I can say for now. Thank you for joining me on this lovely morning, and